Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Now today we are going to discuss about matrices. Okay, we have already studied about the determinants. Now we are going to study about matrices. So here the theory of matrices was developed by a mathematician, Arthur Cayley. Okay, so I'll just write it here. The theory of matrices was developed by mathematician Arthur Cayley. Okay, so why she developed this theory? Because here the matrices are used to represent the numbers in a compact form. Okay, so it is useful to represent the information of numbers in a compact form. Basically they are used today also in economics, statistics and also computer science fields and many other applications. Now let us define matrices. So the matrices can be defined as a rectangular arrangement of m into n numbers in m rows and n columns, enclosed by square bracket or round bracket. Then it is called as matrix. Okay, now as you know that we have already studied about the determinants. In determinants we also represent the information of numbers in the form of rows and columns, but there is a difference between matrices and determinants. Okay, now in determinants we represent the information of numbers between the two vertical bar. Okay, just like this 1 2 3 4, and we represent it between two vertical bar. This is called as determinant. Okay, this was determinant, but here the matrices are represented or enclosed in a square bracket or a round bracket. This can be called as a matrices. Okay, now as you know that value of determinant can be calculated like 1 into 4 minus 2 into 3. Okay, so value of determinant can be calculated, but for your information I'd like to say you that if you have to calculate the value of matrices, then you will have to convert this matrices into its determinant form, and then you can calculate the value. Okay, so whenever you would like to find the value of that matrices, you will have to convert into its determinant form and then you can find the value. Okay, now matrix itself does not have a value or any special meaning. Okay, so it just used to represent the numbers in the form of rows and columns. Okay, now here as you know that in determinant we represent the order of the determinant. So here also we represent orders. Now what is the order? Order is rows into column. Okay, order is rows into columns, but we represent rows by letter M and column by N. Okay, so here is the thing that if you have this matrix, you know that it has two rows and two columns. So here the order becomes 2 by 2. Okay, now there is one more difference between matrices and determinant. A determinant is a square arrangement of numbers. Determinant is a square arrangement of numbers. Now what is a square arrangement of numbers? Now I'll tell you with an example. Okay, focus here. Now You know that this is a determinant of order 2 by 2. Okay. Also, this is a determinant of order 3 by 3. Okay. So here also this, if I write here as x, this is also a determinant of the order 1 by 1, one row and one column. Okay. So this all are determinant. This all are determinant of the order 1 by 1, 2 by 2, 3 by 3. So here this determinant are nothing but the square determinants, or you can say the determinants are always a square arrangement of numbers. Okay. So value of determinant is calculated when the numbers are arranged in a square manner. So in determinant there is a square arrangement of numbers, and that's why we can calculate the value of determinant. But in matrices there are two possibilities. There can be a rectangular arrangement, or square arrangement. Okay. So both is possible in the case of matrices. For example, you can write like this. So this is a matrices, of course, because it is enclosed in a square bracket. So this is a order 2 by 2 matrices. But it is also possible that the arrangement of numbers is in the form of rectangular form, like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now this is a rectangular arrangement of numbers. It is having 2 rows and 3 columns. Right. So here the order becomes 2 into 3. However, in determinant there was always same number of rows and columns. That means 3 rows, 3 columns, 2 rows, 2 columns. Always the number of rows was equal to the number of columns. But in matrices there is a possibility that number of rows and number of columns can be equal and cannot be equal. Okay. Both cases are possible in the matrices. Okay. So I hope you got the difference between matrices and determinant. Okay. Now, first of all, you should understand that matrices is just a representation of numbers in the form of rows and columns enclosed in square bracket and the round bracket. Okay. Also in matrices, the rows and columns can be or cannot be equal, whereas in determinant the rows will always be equal to the number of columns. Okay. So this was the difference between determinants and matrices. So due to the rectangular or square arrangement of the numbers, there are different types of matrices that can be possible. So I'd like to discuss about the types of matrices now. Now we are going to study about the types of matrices. Different types of matrices is possible. So the first matrix that we are going to study is the row matrix. So I'll define row matrix. A matrix having only one row is called as row matrix. Okay. Now as you know that we have a order of m into n, right, where m stands for row and this stands for column. Now according to the definition, row matrix will have only one row. So here the value of m will become 1 into n. Okay. So here it will contain only one row, but any number of columns is possible. Okay. For example, 1, 2, this is a matrix of the order 1 into 2, because this is first row and this is 2 columns. Okay. This is first row and this is 2 columns. Also, if I write 4, 5, minus 1. Now here also 1 row, that is a first row, and 3 columns. Okay. 3 columns and only one row is possible. So here the order is 1 into 3. Okay, I hope you got the row matrix. Very simple. Now the second one is the column matrix. Column matrix. Okay, now column matrix can be defined as a matrix having only one column is called as column matrix. Okay, now here also, if you know, order is m into n, but here the n represents the number of column. Okay, so according to the definition, we are having only column matrix. That means we should have only one column. So here the value of n will become 1. For example, 1, 2. Now here you can see that I am having row 1, this is row 2. Okay, row 1, row 2, but there is only one column, correct? So here the order will be m into n, that means rows into columns. So 2 rows and 1 column, right? Also, if you write 2, 3 and -1 and 4. Now as you can see here that we are having 4 rows, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So here the order becomes 4 rows into only one column is possible. Okay, here only one possible column, so the order becomes 4 into 1. Okay, I hope you understood this column matrix. Very simple. A matrix having only one column is known as column matrix. Order is m into n, and in the case of row matrix the order was 1 into n. Okay, now the next matrix is a zero or null matrix. Okay, zero or null matrix. Now as the name suggests, this is a matrix will contain only element as 0. Okay, so it called as zero or null matrix. So I'll define a matrix in which all elements are 0 is called as zero matrix or null matrix, right? Also, mostly it is denoted by O. Okay, so here zero matrix or null matrix can be written as a square arrangement or a rectangular arrangement. I'll write square arrangement, that is 0 0 0 0, or you can write like this 0 0 0. This is a rectangular arrangement, okay, where each element will be 0. Okay, very simple to understand, there is nothing much. Now the next matrix here is a square matrix. Square matrix. Now here, as the name says, square, so here the number of rows and the columns will be equal in this matrix. So a matrix with equal number of rows and columns is called as square matrix. Okay, so you can say a matrix of order 2 by 2, a matrix of order 3 by 3, or 1 by 1. Okay, I'll write the example. For example, A, B, C, D. This is a matrix of the order 2 by 2, 2 rows and 2 columns. Or you can write 1, 2, 1, 5, 4, 8, 7, 2, 6. Now this is again a matrix of order 3 by 3 because having 3 rows and 3 columns. Okay, now 1 by 1 can be any element, just like this. This is also a matrix, right? Having only one row and one column. One row and one column. Correct? So this is the square matrix. Now, as I've told you that each element in the determinant, or you can say in matrices, is represented as Aij, where I represents the number of rows and J represents the number of columns, right? So in the case of 2 by 2 matrix, this is A11, A12, A21, A22, correct? This is a matrix of order 2 by 2. And in the case of 3 by 3, this can be written as A11, A12, A13, A21, A22, A23, A31, 32 and 33. So this is a matrix of the order 3 by 3. I have represented using Aij, okay, where I is the number of rows and J is the number of columns, correct? Where I and J basically represents the positions of that element, correct? Now I am going to tell you some properties regarding the square matrix. So for studying the properties of the square matrix, I have considered 3 by 3 order matrix here. Okay. Now, as you know that A11, A12 and A33. Okay. A11, A22 and A33 in this matrix are known as the diagonal elements. Of matrix. Okay, this I have told you in determinants also, that we consider only this diagonal elements, that is A11, A22, A33 are known as the diagonal elements of the matrix. Okay, now if you consider the elements A11, A22, A33, you can see that here the rows and the column positions are equal, that is 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. So in general we can say that the element 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, or I can say A, N, N, where both the N represent same row and same columns. Okay, so now you have to understand here that these diagonal elements are considered only for the square matrix. Okay, that's why I am going for the properties of the square matrix. Now the next thing, this was the property 1. Now the second property. So here if you observe this, the elements are above these diagonals and the elements are below these diagonals. There are 3 elements above the diagonals and 3 elements below the diagonal. Okay, so first of all you should see that above the diagonal there are A12, 1, 3 and 2, 3. Okay, I'll write the element A12, 1, 3 and A2, 3. This is the element above the diagonal. So when you observe this, you can see here that this is row and this is column, again this row, this column. Okay, so here the rows are smaller as compared to the column, correct? I can say that row is smaller as compared to columns, so I is less than J. Okay, this is I, this is J, this is I, this is J, this is I and this is J. I and J basically represent the number of rows and columns. So whenever the elements are above the diagonal, so in that case I will be less than J. Okay, so I can say that elements in which I less than J are the elements above the diagonal. Okay, are the elements above the diagonal. The third property is, if you see the elements below the diagonal, that is A21, A31, A32, I'll write here A21, A31, A32. So in this case you can observe that here the rows and columns, row is greater than column. Row is greater than column. How? You can see 2 is greater than 1, 3 is greater than 1, 3 is greater than 2. So the elements in which I is greater than j, that elements are basically below the diagonal elements. Okay. So A21, A31, A32 are the elements below the diagonal, and A12, 13 and 23 are the elements above the diagonal. So this was the property of the square matrix. Now the next type of matrix is a diagonal matrix. Okay, next is a diagonal matrix. Now according to the name, you can understand that in diagonal matrix there will be elements present only diagonally. Okay, present only diagonally, and other than that every element will be 0. Okay, so I can define a square matrix. So here comes the special case that diagonal matrix should be a square matrix in which non-diagonal elements are 0. Is called as diagonal matrix. Okay, so a square matrix in which non-diagonal elements are 0 are called as diagonal matrix. For example, I can write matrix A as 1, 2, 3 and all the non-diagonal elements are 0. Okay, so here the elements are present only diagonally. Also you can see that this matrix is a square matrix of the order 3 by 3. Okay, now in this case we can also write the same matrix in the form of this statement: A is equal to diag, okay, for the diagonal, bracket 1, 2 and 3. So I'll write 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the same matrix can be written in this statement also, where you have to write the name of the matrix is equal to diag, bracket, you have to write the elements, okay, with the commas and close the bracket, right? Also, if I write one more diagonal element, diagonal matrix, B is equal to A, B, 0, 0. Okay, this is a square matrix of the order 2 by 2. So here I can write B is equal to diag A, B. Okay, so we can write with this statement also, but a diagonal matrix should be a square matrix. Don't forget that diagonal matrix should be a square matrix where non-diagonal elements are 0. Okay, so now the next type of matrix is the scalar matrix. So what is a scalar matrix? Scalar matrix is a diagonal matrix in which all the diagonal elements are same. Okay, scalar matrix is a diagonal matrix in which all the diagonal elements are same. Okay, so here it says that it is a diagonal matrix first of all. Okay, and second thing, all the diagonal elements should be same. Okay, for example, you can consider a matrix like A is equal to, I'll write 2, 2, 0, 0. Now this is a matrix of the order 2 by 2. As you can see that for a diagonal matrix you should have square matrix, so I have written square matrix. And second thing, the elements are diagonally placed, non-diagonal elements are 0. And the third is all the diagonal elements are same. So here 2 and 2, 2 and 2 are the same diagonal elements which is placed in this matrix. Okay, also you can see that matrix B, if I write x, x, x and rest others are 0, so this can also be called as a scalar matrix because it is a diagonal matrix in which all the diagonal elements are same, that is x, x and x. This is of the order 3 by 3. Okay, so very simple to understand. Scalar matrix, a diagonal matrix in which all the diagonal elements are same, is called as a scalar matrix. The next we are going to study is the unit or identity matrix. So a scalar matrix in which all diagonal elements are 1, also known as unity, is called as unit matrix or an identity matrix. Okay, so here it says that unit matrix is nothing but a scalar matrix. What is a scalar matrix? A scalar matrix is a diagonal matrix in which all the elements are same. So here also unit matrix is a scalar matrix in which all the diagonal elements are 1. 1 is also known as unity, and this matrix is called as unit matrix or an identity matrix, denoted by IN. Okay, why IN? Because this n represents the number of rows and columns. Okay, since it is a square matrix, so only one number is required. For example, if I write I2, okay, that means it is a square matrix of order 2. It is a square matrix of order 2 in which diagonal elements are 1. In which diagonal elements are 1. So I'll write 1 and 1, and non-diagonal elements are 0. Okay, so this is a unit matrix, or you can say identity matrix of the order 2 by 2. Also, if I write I3, I3 means identity matrix of order 3 by 3. That means 3 rows and 3 columns. So diagonally I placed 1. Okay, all the elements should be 1. So diagonally I placed 1. Rest all other elements should be 0. So this is a matrix of the order 3 by 3. Okay, so very simple to understand. A unit matrix or an identity matrix in which all the diagonal elements should be 1. Okay, so the next type of matrix is a upper triangular matrix. It says that a square matrix in which every element below the diagonal is 0. Okay, a square matrix in which every element below the diagonal is 0 is called as upper triangular matrix. So it means that first of all, upper triangular matrix is a square matrix. Okay, and the elements below the diagonal should be 0. Okay, so for example, I can write like this: -3, 1, 0, 8. Now this is a 2 by 2 order matrices. 2 by 2 order matrices. Okay, now you can see that this is a diagonal element, -3 and 8. Okay, so -3 and 8 are the diagonal elements, but above the diagonal there is a one element which is present as 1, and below the diagonal it is as 0. Okay, so according to definition, below the diagonal should be 0. So this is a diagonal and below it is a 0. Now I'll write for the order 3 by 3. So you can consider this. Now this is a matrix of 3 by 3 order. So here 409 is the diagonal. Okay, I have just divided it. So this is a diagonal. Okay, now above the diagonal elements are -1, 2 and 3. It is present, but below the diagonal 0, 0, 0. Okay, below the diagonal all the 3 elements are 0, and above the diagonal all the 3 elements are present. Okay, so in upper triangular matrix the elements below the diagonal should be 0. Elements below the diagonal should be 0. Okay, now next that we are going to study is the lower triangular matrix. So a square matrix in which every element above the diagonal is 0 is called as lower triangular matrix. So it says that every element above the diagonal should be 0. Then that matrix can be called as a lower triangular matrix. For example, consider a 2 by 2 matrix here: 7, 0, minus 1, 3. Okay, this is a matrix of the order 2 by 2. Now this is a diagonal, right? This is a diagonal. I have just marking here. This is a diagonal. Now according to the definition, it says that every element above the diagonal should be 0. So this is a diagonal, and above the diagonal it is a 0, but below the diagonal there is a value that is minus 1. So this matrix is a lower triangular matrix. If you consider one more matrix of the order 3 by 3, can be written like this: 2, 0, 0, minus 1, 1, 0, 5, 1, 9. Now this is a again square matrix of the order 3 by 3. This is a diagonal. Okay, I'm drawing it. This is a diagonal. Now elements above the diagonal are 0, as you can see, but below the diagonal there is a 3 elements which are present: minus 1, minus 5 and 1. So in this case you can say that both of these are a lower triangular matrix. So we have to study about upper as well as lower. Now the next type of matrix is the symmetric matrix. Okay, so symmetric matrix is a square matrix where A is equal to element Aij of the matrix M into N, in which Aij is equal to Abi for all I and j is called as symmetric matrix. Now I'll make you explain with the help of example. Now consider a 2 by 2 matrix. Okay, 2 by 2 matrix. So in the 2 by 2 matrix we take the element as A11, A12, A21 and A22. Correct? Now first of all, for the symmetric matrix, do not consider the diagonal elements. Okay, do not consider the diagonal elements, that is A11 and A22 should not be considered, but here the rest elements, that is A12 and A21. So this is A12 and this is A21. As you can see, this is I, this is j, and here it is reversed, this is I and this is j. So both these elements should be equal. That's why it is written here Aij is equal to Aji. So here this I is 1 here and this is j, it is 2. Here it is I is 2 and j is 1. Okay, so basically these elements should be equal. Okay, now this you understood for 2 by 2 order matrix. Now let us consider 3 by 3 order matrix. Okay, so this I am writing A11, A12, A13, A21, A22, A23, A31, A32, A33. Now this is a square matrix in which this is a diagonal, so I just drawn the line on that. So do not consider the diagonal elements. So here you can see that A12 and A21, just the reverse of 12 is 21. Okay, so here A12 should be equal to A21. The next is A13 and A31. A13 and A31 should be equal, right? Also A23 and A32. A23 and A32 should be equal. So for 3 by 3 order matrix, A12 should be equal to A21, A31 should be equal to A13 and A32 should be equal to A23. Then that matrix can be called as a symmetric matrix. Okay, so for example, I'll give you example for 2 by 2 matrix. Here consider 2, 3, 7, 7. Now this is a diagonal element, right? So we just eliminate it. So above the diagonal, this is A12 and this is A21. Both are equal. Okay, now in this case consider a matrix that is X, Y, Z. This is H, H, B, B, C and C. Now this is also a square matrix of the order 3 by 3. Now if you just eliminate diagonal elements, you can see that A12 was equal to A21. So here also this H is equal to this, right? I have placed the same element here. Also A13 is equal to A31. So here it is also present B and here also B. Now A23 is equal to A32. That means here it is C and here also it is a C. So this is a perfect example for symmetric matrix. The next thing that we are going to study is the skew symmetric matrix. Okay, skew symmetric matrix. So now that we have studied about symmetric matrix, the skew symmetric matrix is just the opposite of that. In symmetric matrix, Aij was equal to Aj, but in the skew symmetric matrix, Aij is equal to minus of Aj. That means both will be equal, but with the minus sign. For example, if you consider this is element, diagonal element, okay, and here I am writing 5 and here I am writing minus 5. Now this is a 2 by 2 order matrix in which if you eliminate the diagonal elements 1 and 2, you can see that both the elements are equal but having different sign. This is plus and this is minus. So this is A12 and this is A21. Both are equal but with the minus sign. So this can be called as a skew symmetric matrix. Okay. So this was order 2 by 2. Also if you consider 3 by 3, I'll write 1, 2, 3, 4, minus 4, 7, minus 7, A, minus A. Now you can eliminate the diagonal elements. I eliminated the diagonal elements. You do not have to see the diagonal elements but the other elements. Now you can see that this and this elements both are equal. This is A12, this is A21. Both are equal but having different sign, right? Now minus 7 and 7. This is 1, 3 and this is 3, 1. A13, A31. Both are equal again but with the minus sign. This is A23 and this is A32. Both are equal but again with the minus sign. So this can be called as a skew symmetric matrix in which Aij is equal to minus of Aj. Okay. Now the next thing that we are going to study is the singular matrix. So a square matrix A is said to be a singular matrix if determinant of A is equal to 0. Otherwise it is said to be a non-singular matrix. So whatever the matrix you have, if you consider the determinant value of that and if you get the value as 0, then that matrix can be called as a singular matrix. Otherwise it is called as non-singular matrix. Now for example, if you consider 6, 3, 8, 4, this is a matrix of the order 2 by 2, correct? Now I cannot find the value of this while it is enclosed in square bracket. So to find the value, I will have to convert it into a determinant form, that is 6, 3, 8, 4. Now this is the determinant form, correct? Now we will calculate this value. This is 6 into 4 minus 3 into 8, which is 24 minus 24 give you 0. Now this value of determinant is 0. So here we can say that this matrix is a singular matrix. Okay. Now one more example I will give you for the order 3 by 3. If you consider our determinant or the matrix 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6. This is a matrix. To find the value, first of all we will have to convert into determinant form. So we have converted into determinant form. Now this is a 3 by 3 order determinant. Now when you solve the 3 by 3 order determinant, here you will get the value as 0. Okay, here you will get the value as 0. So in this case we can say that this matrix is a singular matrix. However, if you don't get the value as 0, then you can say that this matrix is a non-singular matrix. Very simple. You just have to calculate the determinant value. If you get the value as 0, then you can say that it is a singular. If you don't get the value as 0, then you can say it as non-singular matrix. So the next here is the transpose of matrix. The matrix obtained by interchanging rows and columns of a matrix A. Consider a matrix A was given. Then the matrix obtained by interchanging rows and columns of matrix A is called as the transpose of matrix. It is denoted by A raised to T or A dash. Okay. Now consider a matrix I am giving you. A is equal to -1, 5, 3, -2, 4, 7. Right? Now it is having 3 rows and 2 columns. So 3 rows and 2 columns. This is the order. Right? Now to calculate the transpose of this matrix, so what we gonna do? We will just interchange the rows and columns. We will interchange the rows and columns. So you can write A dash or A raised to T is equal to, so in the first row it is written -1 and 5. I'll write it in the form of columns. 3 and -2 again in the form of columns, and 4 and 7 again in the form of columns. So I've just converted this matrix into this by interchanging the rows and columns. Now here, if you can see, we get only 2 rows but 3 columns. So I'll write 2 into 3. Okay. Now observe the order of both the determinant. Right. So you can understand that by taking a transpose of any matrix, the rows and the columns will get interchanged. So here the order was 3 by 2 and here the order is 2 by 3. Okay, we have just interchanged all the rows into their columns. Like consider one more example of the order 3 by 3. B is equal to 1, 0, -2, 4, 5, 7, -1, 0, -3. This is the matrix of the order 3 by 3. Okay. Now we are going to take the transpose of this matrix, which is B raised to T, or you can write B dash. So you can see that in the first row it is written 1, 0, -2. I'll write 1, 0, -2 in the first column. Then 4, 5, 7 it is written in the second row. I'll write 4, 5, 7 in the second column. Then -1, 0, -3 I am writing in the third column. So I've just interchanged the rows and columns. But you can see that it is a square matrix. So here the order still remains the same. That means 3 rows and 3 columns. The order will not change in the case of square matrix. So here we have interchanged all the rows into the columns. Okay. Now I am going to give you 2 remarks for the transpose of a matrix. So the first is, if matrix A is a symmetric matrix, okay, remember symmetric matrix in which Aij is equal to Abi, right? So whenever you take the transpose of a symmetric matrix, in that case A will be equal to A raised to T. That means whenever you take the transpose of a symmetric matrix, both the matrix will look same. Okay, will look same. Second remark is, if A is a skew symmetric matrix. So here in this case, skew symmetric was Aij is equal to minus of Abi. Okay, so whenever you take the transpose, the minus will change its position, and due to that here both matrix will be equal but with the minus of that matrix. Okay, so you can say that A is equal to minus of A raised to T, right? So this was the 2 remarks for the transpose of a matrix. Also we have completed all the types of matrix which is possible. If I have missed any type of metrics, do let me know in the comments. Also, if you have any doubt, comment below and do share it with your friends and subscribe my channel. Thank you.